Well, as artificial intelligence advances rapidly, many of the smartest minds in technology say that we need to communicate more quickly with computers.
This is where brain-machine interfaces, or BMIs, come into play by allowing our brains to talk directly with computers. Can't believe that. Here to give us the scoop is future technology analyst and evangelist Todd Townsend. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies. Thanks for having me back again. This is becoming de rigueur. I like it. I
love
like it.
We like having you here because you're talking about the future and the future of technology. So tell us a little bit about BMI, what it is, and how it will change our landscape here.
Sure. So we're already seeing this a little bit now in rudimentary forms. We've seen things like artificial limbs, and where you can control that. There are artificial limbs now that amputees can actually control with thoughts a little bit. So what happens is the computer reads an electrical signal in your body and then tells the limb to do something by you thinking, just like you would to move your arm. So that's the rudimentary form of this. Now, when you start moving forward into the future, you're going to be able to have these micro implants, because technology is getting where you can make these very, very small scale machines and sensors, which you could implant in the brain, and in the future they're looking to be able to take those signals and do more advanced things with them. So even Facebook has been talking about this. A lady, Regina Duggan, who used to work for DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Agency in the government that did a lot of stuff, works for Facebook now. They want to be able to create this cap that you put on, and you can think and type up to 100 words a minute by just thinking instead of typing. Because if you think about it, as humans, what we have here is we can look out in the world and our eyes taking a lot of information, right? We can read a lot of things. But putting information back out is very slow. We basically have our fingers to type, or basically talking into a computer now. It's very, very slow when you think of a machine that's dealing with millions of cycles a second. So as we go forward into this advanced future we all see coming with artificial intelligence machines, humans are going to have to work better with computers. And at first that'll just be physically and understanding how to take data and put it into your job. But as we look out a couple decades, at some point we need to be able to keep up with computers better. So a lot of smart people are saying we need to find a way to merge so we can start working at machine speeds with our brains.
Wow.
So then you were saying, you know, we can put this cap on and it can basically type for us. How quickly can we see something like that? I mean,
there's a lot of debate about that. So Facebook's saying 2 years. Personally, 2 years. There's a lot that has to go into how do you read these signals out of the brain, and then how do you interpret those signals out of the brain. And that's where things like machine learning and artificial intelligence, using that to understand how the brain works better and read the signals. But one of our favorite entrepreneurs, Elon Musk, we talk about, he started a company around this called Neuralink. A guy named Brian Johnson, who started the company Braintree and sold it, has started a company around this. There's lots of really, really smart, talented people trying to figure this out.
Well, and speaking of smart, talented people, you actually say that this can actually help neurodegenerative diseases, something like Parkinson's disease. How can this help a disease like that?
So that's actually in the works and working now, and what it does is they can find areas of the brain to stimulate with electricity, very specifically at the neuronal level. We have all these neurons and synapse connections in our brain. That's how we work, and they know how to target these areas. And Parkinson's is when you kind of have a short circuit in the brain among some of these neurons, that you can use these implants to control that short circuit with electricity to get rid of things like tremors. So initially these companies, the one Elon's doing, the ones Brian's doing, is looking to improve quality of life with neurodegenerative diseases. Going forward, they want us to be able to interface with computers much more quickly through things like just thoughts.
And quickly, they want us to interface with each other without talking. How does that work?
That is the science fiction aspect of this I was going to bring up at the end of the segment, which is Elon even used the word telepathy. And he thinks in the future that once this gets advanced enough, we can communicate without talking. Just like in a science fiction movie, so you'd think, and your thoughts could go into the cloud, then you could read my thoughts if I directed them at you without us having to speak and use words. Now that sounds crazy, but if you understand some of the technologies underlying this that are being worked on and that are working in a lab now, it's not that crazy if you extrapolate out and look forward over the years and go, yeah, we'll probably get there. Think about having Google plugged in your brain. Right now you want to do a Google search, you got to go type, you have to talk. What if you could just think and add information real time when you're having conversations right out of the cloud?
My father will love that because he wants everybody to just read his mind. I know you're watching, Dad. There we go.
Well, you read I'm going to try this right now. You read this.
Okay.
What am I going to say next?
No, read your card. I'm going to see what he's thinking.
Well, you can follow along on Twitter.
She's pitching in the next segment.
There we go, at toddtownsend.com.
And I'll be back in a month.
There we go. And we'll be right back.